Hey folks, Anthony Nitz here. Hey, I have several people call me and contact me and ask me, hey Anthony, I've got a loan that has a relatively short amount of time left on the note, and I don't know, does it make sense to reduce my rate on that loan if I am going to pay it off in a short amount of time? But the simple answer is yes. It always makes sense if you can reduce your rate. Absolutely, you want to keep as much of the money in your pocket as you can. And the fact that you've significantly reduced your balance, if you reduce your rate on a reduced balance, your payment drops enormously. But the goal, I would hope, is not to just reduce your payment and extend it out for another 30 years, because that's what's going to happen. The idea is ideally, and you have to evaluate your own situation, that you reduce your payment, but you continue making the same payment that you were making before, and that way you get your house paid off that much sooner. So I'm going to run a couple little scenarios. I'm going to look at my other screen over here. We're on the site here, mortgagecalculators.info. And we're just going to go do a monthly payment calculator real quick, kind of see, and we'll just use the numbers that pop up here. $250,000. Again, assuming that you had a 6.5% rate. Folks, I'm not quoting your rates here, not quoting your fees, not quoting all that stuff. These are all assumptions, and your situation is unique and individual, so we'll review all those things. If you'd like to have us do that for you, we can do that. But 6.5%, 30 years, and let's take a look at the amortization schedule. So if we calculate that out, and let's assume you've had that loan now for 23 years, you've been making payments on that loan. So you only got 7 years left. We're going to scroll down to 23 years. There we go. So we're at 23 years now. Let's say you're at the last payment of your 23rd year, and you've got a loan balance of $106,412. Well, I'm sorry, let me go back to the top here. I don't know if I mentioned this here, but this tells me also that your payment is about $1,580 per month, $1,580 per month. So keep that in mind. And going back down to the 23-year mark there, $106,412. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to a calculator. If you can figure out, gee, if I made extra payments on a loan, how would that impact me? Well, your loan amount is not $250,000 because it's your new loan balance, right? And if you're doing an FHA or VA streamline, ideally this balance is not increased with closing costs. Depending on what the rates are, depending on what the market's doing, you could, maybe expect like about a 4% rate or something like that. But again, every single situation is unique, so don't hold me to that. We'll review your situation. Let me just take out that extra payment for a moment, and we're going to change that to 2013. So let's calculate that out. So your payment with $106,000 at 4% would drop down to about $508. So that's about $1,072 less per month. Now that's great, but again, remember that would extend you back out 30 years. If you're okay with that, then that's up to you. If you're more interested in having the cash flow than you are getting your house paid off, then again, that's up to you. So now, but with the extra payments, we didn't calculate that in. But if we add 1,072 into your calculation here, what would happen is this loan would get paid off in 6 years and 5 months. So remember, you made 23 years worth of payments, and now by reducing the rate, it pays it off 7 months earlier. Now that's not, in the big grand scheme of 30 years, a big huge thing, but any additional money I can keep in my pocket, and it didn't really cost me anything to do that, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that and just continue, making the same payment you were making before and get that house paid off. The thing that I like about this too, and a lot of people take advantage of, is, hey, We know over in this economy, there's a lot of us who have had a rough time. And so if we come over here and we say, well, $508 per month, if I hit a rough patch, I'll be able to, only have to pay $508. I could do that. Yeah, I want to pay it off sooner, but I could pay the 508. So it's a decision that you have to make, and a scenario that we have to look at for you in your unique situation. So if you would like us to review that situation for you, contact us. Our contacts here somewhere on the page or on the video page or whatever, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks.